in different lightings, and
Hello.
mine just turned bright. Hi!
Hello.
Hey.
It is
Yum.
time. Adjusting.
I'm also adjusting. I'm finishing my last spell.
Okay. Welcome to another exciting episode of Ragdar's Rebellion. Or an
Of
episode
talking to people?
of talking to people. Hey, that shit's exciting, bro. So, we are on episode 13, and to catch everybody up, an initial encounter with a strange visitor to Ragdar's Fist has just been completed. An individual referring to themselves as the Sovereign of the Aurelian. However, it would seem that the encounter was of mixed success, and at dawn, the individual will return to speak with the true leadership of Ragdar's Rebellion, and that is where we're going to pick up, is the preceding night. Let me throw a little ambience.
Music.
Can I'll speak to you real quick.
Yes, of course. She'll wander away.
Learning these runes, and I was wondering if it reacts differently to different materials, and I wonder whether or not your staff will give a proper reaction to it. Now, if it's Taladoni's staff, I might want to ask Valis involved in it, but you think maybe we could give it a shot, see if it provides any beneficial effects for you?
Sure. We can always talk to Valis. If we're heading that way, I have something to do first.
I understand.
Is everybody gathered here?
Yes.
Dan is vibing in the tavern place, yeah?
Game paused.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you. Who here has the black essence?
It should be around here somewhere. Check his pockets.
Roxanna looks the fuck down and kind of hangs her head for a split second. Ah, Jesus.
Hmm?
Who's that?
She's going to rummage in her pocket before standing up, and she's going to walk over. And she goes, I was waiting for later. And she kind of like looks it aside. And she looks to Sera and goes, anyways, well, I was up planning to give it to you already, I suppose. Here. And she's going to hold out the black essence. It seems you're occupied with Sabeiro, but I wanted to speak later, if possible.
Of course. She'll take it from Roxanna. Thank you, little bee. We'll talk later tonight. Satir was underneath me.
Satir's just like, what was that?
Satir will raise a non-existent eyebrow as the woman erupts from his lap, and he will go sit next to his homeboy.
I didn't want to bring
eyebrows.
it up.
I relate. Valis,
Yeah.
we have one evening to prepare for a pretty dramatic scale of the unknown. I would like to infuse this into myself. Would you be able to assist with that?
I'll take a look at the black essence. I could. Don't know if your body could handle it, though. The arcane reservoirs aren't as expansive as others. Even with his help, he'll gesture towards Moto.
What do you say is the level of risk here? I do not want to waste half of it. Is that what we're looking at?
I'd say wait until we get a proper forge up. Or at the very least, you get stronger. But if you want to risk it, there's a chance you survive.
No, I don't want to risk it. She'll pocket it. Do we have less essence, not of the masterwork level, that I could perhaps put into Moto instead?
Right now, no, I don't think so. But, I mean, we'll get that soon enough. We just have to get all the facilities up and running. A couple weeks, we'll get essence. If it's not mined out from below, we'll buy it, or we'll just reap it off, bandits or whatever.
Right, so patience. I understand. She'll hold out her staff next. I should actually ask you, okay. Are there runes on Ica?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She'll hold out Ica next. The runes that are on here, we have a fledgling rune knight now. He's very interested in working on Ica. I feel quite possessive about it. I'm unclear if that's a... Should I trust others with my staff? She'll ask that blatantly.
Well, your staff is an extension of yourself, so would you trust him with yourself?
I think so. That helps put it into perspective, thank you.
Well, there's the answer to the question. And now, as to the fact of the runes, and they are runes of the novice. They depict your rank in the Taladoni. A rune knight is more the purvey of a scion, but oftentimes they do cross lines, so it shouldn't be too... I would suggest that he does not try to manipulate it directly, but learning them and studying them is one thing. But only someone versed in magic or a truly mastered scion should touch a staff.
You're saying that it's ill-advised for me to put a rune upon this?
I'd say it's ill-advised because you're brand new at it. Now, truly, Sera is an exception. Most Taladonic mages don't. They have to go through several months of training to even earn the right to craft their first staff. And then from there, they improve their staff with... It's the same thing as watching a child grow up. And as for you, putting runes on it, well, you hardly know what the runes are yourself. You do far more risk of damaging the staff and stunting the potential of Sera than doing any sort of good with it. Stick to the lower knowledges, learn them, build a strong foundation, and then step up when you're ready. All things in good time.
I understand. I just didn't know whether or not before Sovereign Laurent returns, if it might have been a good prospect for us to try.
Oh, no. No, even if you were a master of a scion smith, I wouldn't advise doing... It is, 6 hours till the dawn? Rune magic is very... well, it's tepid. Dangerous. Meticulous. It takes time. I might also suggest, said Satir, that perhaps one thing that you might do is, when this is over, we can simply take you to a rune smith and learn directly from a master. It seems that many of you have gone without any actual academic guidance of your paths.
That is an accurate assertion.
I would be very much humbled by that if anybody be able to take the time to read. I don't know.
You're part of the rebellion, my friend. Such things are natural. But first, we must secure our home. And Valis cuts in and says, Precisely, Satir, which is why we need to handle this newcomer carefully. There is a lot of potential for an alliance. I hate that we have to tip our hand as a rebellion so early, but it seems that Roxanna's interview with the Sovereign did not... well, it did some good. It revealed that he is not completely dependent upon the Taladoni, or at least not because he chooses to be. That's a weakness that we can push forward on if we do it so carefully. Such leverage will be good. We need to exploit as many advantages as possible and maintain our relative existence in secrecy. Therefore, hopefully, with the next meeting, we might be able to arrange something. But just in case that we do not succeed, you must be ready to defend yourselves. I've been trying to get a read on this Laurent. My divinations have failed. A powerful practitioner of magic in and of himself. He has a constant aura around him that makes it difficult to look at him. I can't really get a read on him. I can tell you, though, what I have learned is that he is in constant contact with his people. And then you will see Valis kind of look up to the sky, his eyes glaze over with magic. Even now I see couriers moving to and fro, constantly speeding on their founder horses. The man is desperate, which leaves him vulnerable. But an animal is most dangerous when it is cornered, so we must be careful.
I need to understand if that phylactery that's beneath us, that magical object, is that something we are willing to part with?
Valis will take a moment. You were saying something, Doctor?
I was just thinking about our diplomatic strategy and whether or not it would be cathartic to him if he knew as much as possible about the rebellion.
Too risky. We don't know who has their hooks in him. Just because he doesn't choose to follow the Taladoni doesn't mean that he won't. Especially if he is desperate enough to protect his people, he may have already done a deal with the devil, so to speak. We need to know how much he is indebted to them, how much he relies on him. These are things that we need to find out. We need more information. We cannot just presume what we see at first hand. And plus, he has a little of my respect. I would have done the same thing if I was going to meet new people. You would be surprised at what people think of you when they don't think you can hear. He'll smile a little.
Roxanna will try to interject and go,
Seer sweats a little bit.
is there anything we could possibly shift the negotiations? We learned about the Spire of Andromedon. Perhaps if he may agree to giving us time to research the effects of what giving him the phylactery will do, but in the meantime, to show that we are of goodwill, we can handle the Spire for him. And possibly aid his situation.
There's no need to research what will happen if we give him the phylactery. This land will become just as cursed as the Aurelian. Well, perhaps not across the entirety of it. I will admit that the Aurelian's problem seems to be exacerbated by other pieces, but from what I know of the vessel of Conflux, Satir, you can correct me if I'm wrong, the phylacteries act as a filtration device for the energies beneath us. You are correct, Dane. That is precisely what they do, although it is a little more complicated than that. It is not a single phylactery that does so, it is several, and there are some redundancies built in. With the appropriate, I guess you might call it, patch job, we could part with the phylactery and ensure that we are protected from any sort of exhaust or corruption to the land. But it would be better if we maintained the current positioning of our phylactery, as we do not wish for a, shall we say, misappropriation. A malfunction is already quite rampant throughout the Conflux. We need to be careful. I agree. I would rather not part with such a thing, but perhaps he can make a good enough deal for it. At the very least, there are other alternatives that we could suggest. If we can find what the actual problem that he's trying to prevent his people from suffering, I believe that we can push him on that. Perhaps find an alternative means. After all, from what I know of curses, all of them have a source.
We'd have to build a strong argument for that, though, if he's already this desperate to go across 2 countries to get here to collect it himself.
Right.
He'd want an immediate solution rather than options, I suppose.
There's no guarantee of that. desperation. Obviously, Varda's impatience, but I'm quite persuasive. And at the end of it all, he won't do anybody any good if he cannot access it.
Would you prefer to him to stay here while we attempt to solve the curse? Or would you rather he stay in his old land?
I do not want a sovereign in our fortress, especially one that can challenge me in divination. So far, I believe our secrets have been kept safe. But we do not know where his allegiance truly lies. Yes, to his people, but what if his people are satiated? Perhaps he served the Taladoni once, and might be inclined to do so again.
He's powerful, right? Basically the implication of him being a sovereign. By chance, do you think he has the contingency? If negotiations go south, he'll just try to teleport out and come back with an army?
Oh, I believe that his force is already sufficient enough to take us down. If anything, we will be the ones teleported. Or did you not see his retinue?
They're very well organized.
What do you two know about the Aurelian? What are their weaknesses?
Well, the Aurelian is simply the region in which they are from. I cannot tell you much of the people, as I had only seen them before the Great Sleep and before we crossed into astral space. But the Aurelian, from what Satir and I have been able to discover, appears to be, well, where the breadbasket of Conflux is. Verdant fields, complete with crops, wheat, bread, plenty. To be prosperous and to be spread throughout all the Conflux. Unfortunately, their fields have been cursed, and hence why his people are most likely in a panic. You see, the people of the Ardent do well enough by using the raw materials and the trade facilities that have already been established. I do not know how anyone survives in the Ashen the Ashen Wastes. But as it were, it seems the Aurelians have lost their main source of income and their source of sustainment. If they cannot trade for food, because they cannot grow it, then they will be at a serious problem. Although Satir tells me that the spheres have been thrown out of disjunction, so it seems that they are not the only ones that are suffering unduly. And with the awakening of the engine of creation, animals will begin to return. At least, that is what we suspect.
Satir, you mentioned a sort of patchwork job that can be done to ensure that the phylactery, absence of it, wouldn't curse our own land. Would it be more beneficial to look into that route for us, or trying to go to the Aurelian to fix what might be there? You mentioned other factors in the curse of the land.
What I meant was simply that this is a theoretical solution. We have no clear, or I would say even probable means in which to seal in either case. We would need to explore the extent of the curse and corruption and whatever seepage may have escaped the phylactery. Perhaps theirs could be repaired, and there is no need for ours to be exchanged. We simply do not know. These are all simply hypothesi.
What is exactly a phylactery anyway? Like, is it something we could create? Or is that...
Oh, heavens, no. That is beyond Dane and I's abilities. We would need the facility, we would need a master scion, but we would also need the assistance of an angel. It is an advanced structure.
What's a scion?
A scion is... Well, a scion is a craftsman, a mundane practitioner of the highest mastery.
Okay. So, what angle are we going to have these discussions then tomorrow at dawn? Are we going the angle of wanting to help the Aurelian people?
Valis will speak up. I plan on shooting it straight with him. He needs us more than we need him, and I'm going to make sure that he knows it. I'm not going to try and push him to any sort of fight, because I don't think we'll win. But presuming that he isn't desperate enough to attack us outright, which I don't think that he is, I believe a softer hand's going to be needed.
I would very much like to go to their Taladoni spire. If that is part of the compromise, I would be quite satisfied.
Well, there's a very real chance that that's where the curse might be emanating from. At least that's what Satir and I have been able to detect. But nothing's for certain. Although, leylenically speaking, that is where their spire is located, is directly over where their phylactery would be. It's a very realistic chance that it is connected directly.
So in either case, it's something that needs to be tackled with, regardless.
Well, I mean, we don't need to do anything about it. We need to just make sure that he is dealt with.
I wonder why his people have not. He confirmed the rumor when I addressed him, that spire is the center of it, but I did not get any knowledge on his efforts so far.
Well, he wouldn't be here if he had been successful elsewhere. It is a long way to travel and quite the amount of exposure. Although, that does lead to another possibility that I don't think that we've begun to explore. He is powerful enough to be a sovereign, but anyone can call themselves one. I wonder how the Aurelian is faring with their sovereign so far away. I suspect that there is a chance, although minor, that perhaps he was deposed and is in exile.
I believe there is strong credibility to that. He associated with Sabeiro as a man who has lost his land.
You build sympathy involved.
I suppose we will need to explore if that sympathy was literal or figurative.
The desperity might be him trying to redeem.
Trying to gain his position back, which means he might have an heir that just so happens to be in that throne.
A possibility. Oh,
How does the... Apologies. How does the whole hierarchy structure work? Is it something you born into, elected? Like, how do you become a sovereign?
Sovereigns are selected through trial. The magic of the Taladoni selects them. As are scions. Taladoni are voted. At least that's how they believe the world should work.
Right.
I suppose we shall have to see. Yes.
You're saying that this sovereign needs us. Couldn't he just kill us and take the phylactery himself?
Well, there's a chance he might be able to. I believe that our chances of winning that straight-up fight are small enough that I do not wish to enforce it, but there's no guarantee. We have to survey an amount of strength so that he doesn't feel as if he can overpower us.
The absolute worst comes to worst. Oh, my apologies, Albert. Did you have more to say?
No. Go ahead.
If the worst goes to worst, where do we end up then, if we lose Ragdar's fist?
We will go to the wilds. We will try to seek out who we can and rebuild elsewhere.
What of Ragdar? Have we heard any word of where he may be?
He has answered none of my attempts to contact him, but I could feel his presence is still upon the Conflux.
If we end up losing this position, perhaps we can route back to the amphitheater, at least in terms of
No.
safe stasis.
No. We will not return to the amphitheater.
On a different subject, a smaller one, much smaller issue. The Grey Guard are familiar with my name. It was revealed in battle. As we are now aware that there are forces who are very easily able to read our minds, what do you have that would help me protect myself from being found?
Unfortunately, you'll have to increase your reservoirs of mana before you can accept such help directly from me. But I can weave a spell that will keep your mind shielded.
All right. Thank you. Should look at the rest of the group. Unless you all need me, I believe I have some meditation to do.
We've had our question answered amongst each other, so I think you're good to lay rest if needed.
Well, one last thing, though, is in terms of showing our strength or our, I guess, how prepared we are. We don't want to come off like we're going to teleport at a moment's notice. Should we spread out when the talking happens?
Just act as retainers. Trying to make it look like we're professionals.
Easy enough for me. She'll smile at her group.
Likewise.
Right. She'll step up to Roxanna. Let's go, little bee. She'll hold out her hand.
Roxanna is going to smile in great appreciation and accept her hand.
Sera's going off towards her room with a rotting corpse.
Hey, Albert, can you do me a favor? Can you summon your weapon real quick? I need to see if it has runes on it.
Sure.
A list.
No runes.
Here you go.
There's no room.
Why?
Can I see it for a moment? Obviously, you still probably have to hold on to it, but I just need to see something.
I give it to him in a release. With both hands.
It dissipates.
Yeah, I figured it would dissipate. I need you to hold it now.
Oh.
I need you to humor me. Humor me for a minute.
As Sabeiro is going to look to him, look back at the glaive, look back to him.
Is it alright if I put a rune on this? See whether or not it reacts in any way?
Sure. Whatever that means.
Sabeiro is going to be putting on the elemental damage rune and having it as... Your tools go through his weapon.
Ooh. Okay.
What? I can chop off heads with this.
It's fake.
Ooh.
Shall we test that theory?
Hold on. I have my own theory.
Okay.
Sabeiro is going to put a... Well, I don't know whether or not I have enough tools to put runes on my tools. Because I was going to put a rune on my tool of just +1 armament to see whether or not that would allow me to react to the glaive. Which, I mean, yeah, I'll just put a +1 rune on the tool that's going to be putting the engraving in. Then I'm going to try again to put the +2 on the glaive. Does it succeed? Your tools go through the weapon.
Yeah, they go through again. Got it.
You cannot affect his weapon, as it's not technically a weapon.
Put it on his throat!
Nice try, Sabeiro.
Or rather, I should be clear, it's technically not an object.
Nani.
Well, I'm learning things. How's the practice?
You'll get it next time.
You can practice on my weapon if you want.
We're about to race.
Which Sabeiro will move over to Evelyn.
By chance on your katana? Does it have runes on it?
It doesn't.
Does it?
It's as pure of a sword as it can be.
Sabeiro is going to... He's going to put the +2 rune on it and have it as fire damage.
That works.
Hold on.
Or
Ting, ting, ting.
I was going to say we already have fire damage.
Well, whenever I go to sleep, it's gonna go away. That's why I figured I'd do the test before the Sovereign shows up.
Well.
So, by chance, based off of the metal that the katana is made out of, does it seem as if it's reacting differently on the blade?
Nope, it's normal.
Oh, got it.
All the power surges through me.
That's not correct, but he said it with such confidence.
I do that a lot.
Sabeiro is impressed with Evelyn's correct math.
I am correct.
Stop it.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not gonna live that down.
That pullback was awesome.
How much damage does that usually add, the elemental damage?
For normal, for normal metal? Oh, you got it? Alright, cool.
I've got it down as 2d6. If it's the same as when you gave him his upgrade.
Is it 2d6?
His
or
upgrade.
1d6?
His Rune Knight stuff.
Oh. Yeah. Let me check though.
Yeah,
pretty sure it's 1d10 for
Whoops.
regular metal, but go double check on it.
Because I didn't know based off of it being like the special katana, if it had it was the Revelation katana.
That doesn't matter. It's based off the metal it's made of, not
My katana is very special.
It was wielded by a legendary that doesn't matter. Metal.
It's folded 10,000 times.
10,000 times.
The body.
You heard that right. 20,000 times.
1,000 times folded steel.
Anyone here watch Forge and Fire?
Yeah. Anyone here hug Lolly? Wow.
Group hug!
We're going to the shower.
Sweaty. Who's sweating on me?
I'm anti-social.
My personal favorite part was fucking Sera fucking sweating when he's like, I oftentimes have done that.
I caught that. Don't worry, boo boo.
Starts to sweat. Wonder how long he's been doing that. How long? Yeah, it's 1d10.
1d10. Got it.
It's 1d10 for normal metal.
Thank you for looking. I had that wrong.
For next time, I would like to see something like lightning or cold.
I'll have it.
Here, I have a gift for you. I want a different flavor. Like, Jesus Christ.
You can protect people's virginity with that.
I got you some ice cream. I don't like Rocky Road.
Thank you for humoring me with my smithery.
Of course, your rooms are very much appreciated.
Good recovery.
Good recovery.
Nice.
Good recovery.
Sabeiro is going to abscond with his tools up to his room and start looking at the potential runes on his dagger just to basically learn.
Got it. You're practicing.
Yep.
It puts the lime in the coconut. Drink it all up.
Lime in the coconut. All up. Lime in the coconut. All up. Wait. It's non-alcoholic.
Evelyn is going to take the quick step standals and then go to the font to activate font call with it.
Okay.
Sabeiro would have taken that targe. He needs that targe.
I'll do
What you gonna do?
one empathy and one wrath.
You got it. Bada bada boom boom boom. Bada 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 bam bam bam. Let's go.
Get that boom boom pow.
Go ahead, Albert. Then I'll do my stuff with Jace after. Whatever you're doing for the night.
I thought Roxanna and Albert were gonna check out the armory.
Oh yeah. She would excuse herself, say that she's gonna catch up with Sera, but she said that she was gonna do something with Albert real quick.
Very
Sera
sad.
watches her walk away. She'll continue with what she was doing.
Mhm.
I got a plan that'll be in parallel. Arcadum, however you want to handle that.
All right.
We're searching the armory for anything that would be of use.
Okay.
Mainly, I need to
that's
load up
right.
on daggers.
Well, you find plenty of daggers. You basically find any mundane weapons you want.
Is there anything special in there?
No. Good job, guys. You searched it.
Well,
We searched it.
this was very. This is fun.
Very anticlimactic.
Guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey, Albert.
Oh, hold on. I forgot something.
Oh.
There are some chests in there that contain potions and supplies.
Ooh.
If they're locked, I
Clap.
lock pick it. If not, I'm looking.
Okay. Get out your pencils.
Big clap.
Ooh. No,
This
it's
is the
channel.
armory, correct?
I'm sorry, what?
These are
Yes.
armory. This is armory chests in the armory.
Yeah, these are the chests in the armory.
Okay, list them.
All right. 10 regular healing potions, 5 greater healing potions, 1 supreme healing potion, 2 potions of haste, 4 potions of see invisibility, 2 potions of invisibility, and finally, a poison that is not identifiable.
Poison.
Hey,
Wait, not
Roxanna, I think you might be
identifiable as
interested
in-
this.
As in, it doesn't have a label.
Okay, but I can take the time to identify it.
Mm-hmm.
Albert, grab a potion of haste.
Hmm.
I'm kidding. We can.
Well, it seems the I'm very glad we checked this out. 2 regular for everybody, 1 of greater for everybody. Who do you think should have the supreme? Maybe Sera? Or Evelyn, since she's the healer?
She already has healing though.
I guess we can ask the group who would get that. You already took the haste. I suppose it'd be beneficial if one of us had see invisibility for the meeting tomorrow in case he has something up his sleeve. Other than that, everything else could be saved for another time. Do you want to identify this poison, though?
Sera could have the invisibility. She can speak through us, to us through Modo.
Mm-hmm. Can I find a poisoner's kit somewhere in space?
Mm-mm.
No. Hot. How
Pretty
long
sure
would
you
it take
have
to
one.
identify it?
Pretty sure you have one. You started as agent, right?
Yeah, I just didn't know if it was a part of starting equipment because when I lost my entire inventory.
Oh, that's right. That's
Mhm.
right. Well, no, you would have had it resupplied. You have one. That's fine.
Okay, then with the poisoner's kit, how long would it take to try to identify it?
Roll me. Roll your kit. D20 plus highest mental stat plus proficiency.
Okay. Holy fucking!
Hey, Albert heals from that.
Oh my god.
Holy, that's awesome, bro.
You take a look at it. You have no fucking idea.
A poison's a poison.
Poison is made of poison.
At one point, the idea crosses Roxanna's mind of a taste test, and she quickly stops herself.
Poison. The poison for Roxanna. Roxanna's poison.
Ah, poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison. That poison? Yes, that poison.
I love it.
I would say at some point bring Lennon down here. See if he'd want to pick up something nice for himself, Albert.
Sounds like a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
I will.
Alright. See you later then.
Yes.
Roxanna's gonna make a very quick pit stop to the treasury and maybe pick up like 20 dust.
Okay.
Pocket that and head to Sera's room.
Okay.
It's gonna get there and like just knock 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 knock.
How much time would have passed by then, Arcadum?
They weren't there that long. Roxanna, you come back and you smell burning coming from inside. A certain smoldering. And then, a smell you recognize. Yeah, it actually smells a lot like the food that you ate on the river.
What?
It looks like Sera's cooking up a storm in her room.
Why would she be cooking in her room? What? Huh? And she's gonna like wait a few moments. If it doesn't seem like she isn't coming to the door and like didn't call out or anything, she's going to delicately try the door and peek into the room.
Your door locked.
Nah, she's humming to herself.
Okay. Well, as
Greetings.
you who the fuck? Who the fuck was that? Did anybody else hear that? I'm losing
Yes.
my mind.
Yes.
What happened?
Was that my new familiar?
Holy
Was that
shit.
my unseen servant talking?
Bro. Dude, who the fuck
What?
was that?
I think that was Race. It sounded like
It was
Race.
me, sorry.
Okay.
I was so confused.
I was like, holy,
There's a detective frog that just made a random noise in
holy
the room.
shit, dude. That was crazy. Anyway. Yeah, the FBI guy had something to say. Anyway. So, Roxanna places her hand on the door. Once again, that intoxicating smell from the Riverlands, making her mouth water a little bit. You jiggle the handle softly and look inside, and you see that Sera is humming to herself. The room seems to have been cleaned out, and there is a smoldering corpse of Brianna on the floor as its burnt flesh fills the entire room.
Roxanna is going to go very wide-eyed, jaw drop, as she makes the immediate connection in her head, and she's just gonna close the door, open the door again,
Get on the floor.
Everybody
and
do
Walk
the
the dinosaur.
she's just gonna start laughing to herself, of just head in her hand. Sera. Oh, sorry, I didn't.
Oh, hello. Welcome.
The burnt corpse will wave.
I'm
I'm just kidding. That doesn't happen.
Does it?
She's going to lift her head up again, and she just has a wide smile as she steps into the room and closes the door gently behind her. And she goes, "Well, I can see what you've spent your time on."
Yes, I needed to do something about this. The smell was becoming horrendous.
You notice anything, Sera,
Moto will open a window.
about the smell?
She's She'll look at the body. What?
Oh, right.
Smells crispy.
Moto will transform into a fan, and fan himself.
Never mind. Huh. Do you ever get casually visited by a sovereign back in Calcatesh? Like it's an any other Tuesday. As
Sovereigns, no. I was an archivist, and there was a lot of royalty that liked to come through. A lot of questions.
Roxanna would look around the room for a place to take a seat. So she's not like standing awkwardly in the room.
She'll gesture her in. What I would like to do is attempt to meditate again with my staff, but I was wondering if there's some things you want to talk about. Otherwise, I was going to ask you to help watch over me, as I'm not quite sure what will happen.
Right. I did actually have a couple of questions, mainly concerning. She kind of gestures to the burnt corpse. This, and I wanted to know where your head was at. I don't think we've had a proper conversation in a while. To start, I
Anything in
guess.
particular?
Well, I was wondering, why have you taken up this sort of research, I guess?
Well, I'm not sure if you've noticed, but I seem to have acquired a tattoo on my forehead where I don't have eyebrows. I seem to be in this strange body, but the more time I've spent in it, the more powerful it's gotten, and I feel like I'm on a journey of... I'm not sure if the right word is a curse journey or a redemption journey. It's pretty obvious to me the devil's marked me for himself. And what I did to get here, well, I think I deserve that.
Right. With everything that's happened, I've kind of been in this same thought process, thinking that they're sort of deserved. Do you really count this as a sort of blessing or a curse being brought back?
I'm not with my wife. This is a curse.
And I'm not with my child. Other than that, what do you think about this whole rebellion where we're at right now? I know that initially you were not for it in the slightest.
Oh, the political zealot we've thrown ourselves with, well, I was initially against it because I didn't like the idea of forcing mundanes, as they call them, to accept something that they were not born with. But I don't seem to care much about that anymore. I've yet to run across someone in this world who has helped us of their own free will. Everyone here seems to need something from us. Why should I care about them when they don't care about me?
I really... Gods, I respect the hell out of you, Sera. This entire time I felt as though I've been back and forth with my position, my feelings, and I feel behind with everyone. Still mourning my own death while everyone seems to have their head on straight. I greatly admire your strength.
It is the strength of reason, for if I do not have reason, I must be mad.
You mentioned a wife. What of your previous life? Do you want to return, or...
I think that door is closed to me. For me to find her, I would have to die. And dying does not seem to be the final call that we all thought it was. We've heard mention of the veil of... Shit. What did he call it? No! What did Kapos call it? Great Starry Veil? That's the dream, right, Arcadum?
Yeah.
Okay. We've heard reference of the Great Starry Veil, and I can't dream here. Can you?
When I attempt to do so, in my past, I had a great connection to the dream. I unfortunately spent a great deal of the later part of my life dreaming as reality was not what I can make it. But since coming here, when I attempt to dream, all I find is that I'm reliving memories. I can only reflect on my past, and that connection is lost to me. I would feel an immense amount of comfort if I were to be able to reestablish that and I could feel back at home, but for now, I used the dream before as a tool in order to make the reality I wanted, because my life was not the one that I could have. But now, being on Conflux, I have the power to make reality what I want. So I've researched the signs, being able to directly influence the world. So...
Would you like to bring the dream to Conflux? Or are you trying to bring Conflux to the dream?
I think that would cause a fair bit amount of chaos, though to be connected to the spirit realm again would be amazing in and of itself. Not sure where we'd start, though.
The spirit realm. I don't think I know much of it. Starting to know quite a bit about the abyss, about the devilish realm, but I don't think I understand the spirit realm.
It's basically the dream. I call it that because that is what they called it back, my homeland, where I'm from. I was actually not fully human in my past life. I was the
Sera
result.
Looks interested.
I was the result of my mother and father's relationship. My mother being a human and my father a spirit. Spirit of the dream, the spirit realm. What I had to show for it was she looks down at her hands and she'll fully extend them out in front of her, looking at the back of her hands and turning them slowly to look at her palms. My arms were spectral. It was amazing. I wish I looked even a semblance of what I looked like before, but...
Okay, I got a question for you. Sera's got alter self.
Mm-hmm.
Could she alter herself into what she thinks Roxanna used to look like?
You could try.
Let me see if I can at least help you look at what you used to look like. And she'll attempt to make herself look just like Roxanna, but with ghostly arms.
She'll look at it, and her eyes will flutter a bit in bewilderment, and she'll giggle softly. She goes, "That's gods, I love magic."
She'll hold up a hand and just wave it at Roxanna. Did she actually accomplish it, or are her fingers largely ghostly?
Oh yeah, you look ghostly, but I mean, you don't have any idea what a yo sign is, so.
Oh yeah, she just went for almost
Yeah.
transparent almost. Wow. Does this look like you?
You have the right mind track. It's a bit more complicated than that.
She looks around for a mirror. Is there a mirror in this room?
Yeah.
She'll sidestep the burning pyre, and she'll move her to a mirror. Just go look at herself. Say this one over here.
Before I had...
Hold on.
Oh.
One moment, please.
Okay. No.
Is the mirror facing a doorway?
Is Sera a mirror?
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm devilish.
I think this is the... Yeah. We're over that yet. Okay. Just need to check my stuff here.
Start dancing in front of the mirror.
All right, listen up.
Oh.
Something happens.
Oh, shit.
As Sera looks into the mirror, whilst she is attempting to look like Roxanna, changing her shape. For a brief moment, when Sera looks in the mirror, she does not see herself, nor does she see the semblance of the form that she used to be as Roxanna, but she will see herself as her traveler's soul would look.
Ooh.
Not the vessel you are, but the person you once were.
Are you seeing this, Roxanna?
What is it? And she'll look at the mirror.
Nothing there. Just what you expect to see.
Sera's gonna extend out her left hand, and she's gonna touch the mirror.
Roxanne's gonna try to, vessel sense or something. She's very confused as what's happening.
You sense there is a vessel in the mirror, Roxanne. As Sera places her hand on the mirror.
Sera! And she's gonna, grab her other hand.
As she places her hand upon the mirror, the disguised self that was maintaining the form of Roxanna's form, instead, disguises self as who Sera once was.
Oh.
And then, a moment. Frozen in time. Oh boy. Can't wait for the highway to ruin the fucking gravity of this moment. As every motorcycle and plane is just driving by right now.
Gotta go, shit's fucked!
Alright, so, I've been waiting on this one. Jesus Christ, dude, seriously, I've heard 6 planes and 8 motorcycles.
Do you live at the airport?
Jesus
He's in a
Christ.
cargo container.
Oh, God. Anyway. So, as your traveler self appears as the illusion that you've conjured around yourself, as you look back up into the mirror, you will see something that is not your reflection, but rather something else entirely. You will see a field, a river, and you'll see a woman floating above the ground a single silver thread emanating from her head and into the sky. The thread elongates and cuts the mirror in twain. And there, you see the sky open to something else beyond. Your reflection returns as it was. You're not even quite sure if what you saw was real or a passing fancy. As you were.
Did I see, like, you described that her disguised self turned into herself. Is that what Roxanna sees out of all of that?
Yeah.
Roxanna's eyes are gonna widen as she goes, Sera, look at yourself.
Sera's still staring at the mirror, the one that she saw cut in half. She's gonna run her hand over this mirror to see if it's still... Is it in the same piece? Is it cut in half? What was that?
Roxanne's gonna see if she still senses, like, the vessel.
Nope.
She's gonna Arcana.
Roxanne's gonna explain what she sensed. That
Nothing,
it
champ.
seemed like another vessel was there.
Sera's eyes glow slightly green, which looks very odd, superimposed over blue eyes.
Oh, I'm dead! Where'd I go? What happened to me?
Continue.
Oh, okay.
I saw as she looked out. What? I'm shorter. This is me. She'll jump around a little bit. Oh my gosh! Wait, I can't see anything. Do you have any glasses? She'll trip on the bed.
The glasses. Roxanna's gonna look for the glasses that she made Sera before, and like hand it to her.
You mean the glasses that aren't anything but glass?
Yeah.
Okay.
She'll put them on her face. I can't. What?
I'm not a craftsman. I apologize.
Oh. Gods.
This is
cancel
you.
her alter self.
Oh, now you're back to being tall and eyebrowless.
Oh, that was a very weird experience. Why am I in this bed?
Oh, there was someone there. There was in the mirror. I sense another vessel.
How big is the mirror, Arcadum?
It's one of those.
Could you pick it up?
Head to toe mirrors. Yeah.
Head to toe. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's one of the big ones.
She will try to peek behind it to see.
Behind it, you see a strange
suspicious?
man. No,
Anything suspicious?
No, you see nothing back there.
What did the woman look like, Arcadum?
Well, you saw her from a distance, but she seemed to be of median height, long blonde hair, and she had kissable lips.
I saw that from a distance
What?
away. High five to myself.
You have some hot women. The inverse of my spell.
Moto, where is Moto? I need Moto.
Hey, Moto?
Moto is not there.
Oh.
She's gonna look irritated, and her mind she'll go, Moto!
Moto is not there.
What do we...
Always when I need him. Right. I need to sketch. One moment, I'll show you what I saw. She'll sit down, just on the floor, cross her legs, with her bare feet. She's going to sketch out the image that she saw.
No, if this was a dream, this is very strange.
Well,
You hear
now, go ahead.
1 second. She's gonna go, stealthily go towards the door in vessel sense to try to gauge who the fuck is on the other side.
Is that a knocking?
There's no one there.
What was that supposed to be?
That was a
knocking
knocking.
or steps? Oh. Which direction, please, did that come from?
Not from the door.
Wait.
I think we have a visitor. She'll stand back up from where she's just started to sketch. She's going to go back to the mirror.
All right. You see Moto on the other side.
She'll look at Moto and frown at him. Could he talk at me? Is he able to talk?
He'll point at his head, and he'll give an X with his hands.
At this point, I see it too, right? Or no?
Yeah, you see him. He's in there.
Sera will once again extend her left hand, just her finger pointer, and she's going to touch the mirror. She wants to see, is this a hard glass normal mirror?
As you start to do that, Moto raises up his arms and go,
She'll drop her hand. She'll once again...
He'll hold up a claw, and then he'll breathe heavily on the mirror. He'll start to write in the mirror, trapped.
Wait, didn't Sabeiro mention something like this before, Sera?
Do not bring Sabeiro in here. We do not need his superstitious at this time.
Right. But Roxanna's gonna try to, think about what this might possibly be. Could she do a history or arcana to see if she can recognize something like this?
Help me understand why my familiar is in this mirror, and potentially why I just saw this vessel floating inside that mirror.
Gonna look at her drawing, and she goes, I have no idea. Did you is it the results of rituals you might have done in here? Is it the mention of the dream?
Oh, who knows?
Wait. Sera, wasn't it mentioned before, things can change with knowledge? I have no idea. Maybe
I can only do normal arcana checks, right, Arcadum, because Moto's in the mirror. He can't assist me here.
That is correct.
Okay, yeah.
Roxanne's trying to do her best to assist, but she's blood. She's gonna try to do her own arcana.
I will cast Detect Magic.
Not fucking well.
Bloop.
Well, there's magic coming all over that mirror. Pumping from the ground.
From the ground?
Mm-hmm.
Sera looks down. Is there a singular point? Is it from the mirror or from below her?
You hear. That's from the door.
I, this time, stealthily go towards it and vessel sense to see who the fuck is there.
The door is kicked open.
Phallus, I think I need some help.
Yeah, you think?
She points to the mirror where Moto is trapped.
And then he'll look.
There was another vessel here.
Look at Moto trapped in the mirror. Well, that's not supposed to be possible.
I think I saw myself, Phallus, through that mirror. I think I saw this body.
Satyr!
I think it brought Moto with it.
You have conjured me?
Oh!
You have to stop with that joke. Sorry. What's the... Oh, no. Exactly. That's a problem. The mirror realm isn't supposed to be accessible without the dream.
We're talking about that.
Indeed. The only way that your familiar ends up on the other side of that glass is if the mirror realm was accessed. Tell me exactly what you saw.
Sera will relay exactly what she saw. A field, a river, a woman floating above the ground, a single silver thread from her forehead that seemed to extend into the sky. As that thread elongated, it cut the mirror in twain, and then I saw the sky open. That was it.
I see. That is truly strange. The ley lines beneath us have been activated, coinciding almost perfectly with the planet's ley lines as well. The energy has churned up through this mirror. But we are disconnected from the dream, its basic Taladonic protocol. Somewhere, somehow, the dream has been contacted again. And the moment that you were looking into the mirror, I'm just gonna start muting when I fucking hear an airplane. I haven't stopped speaking. I'm waiting for it to go away. There's 8 of them. Hold on.
8 planes.
You can just stay on the ground.
No,
Humanity was meant to
seriously.
be on the ground. Why do we have to take the sky?
All right.
Ridge Racer.
Anyway, he will continue. Unfortunately, I do not believe we can bring him back, not easily.
Sue's gonna look upset. What if I try to conjure him? What will that do?
Cannot conjure things from the mirror realm, or at least not without dire consequences. One moment. Perhaps I can speak with him. Satir will move up towards the mirror and will see that Moto is breathing heavily on the mirror again, hyperventilating, and he'll start writing, "What the fuck, man?"
I'm surprised he doesn't just lick it.
And then Satir will then start to move his hands in sign language. And then Moto will shrug, and then will... I don't know that. Satir will look very crossly at Sera. And then, well, at least you think he does. Kind of hard to tell. And then he will look back at the mirror, and then he will conjure some images, and he'll put it against the mirror, and he will use them to form words. Moto gets it and starts spelling words by just moving his finger across the mirror. Moto says, "What do I do now?" Satir will say, "Try to find the source. Do you see anything?" Moto will look around. He'll just literally stand there. You know, like that meme of that guy just kind of John Travolta just kind of looking around in that gif?
My boy.
Yeah. Moto will just start looking around. He'll look up, and then he'll look down, and then he'll move the mirror like a camera and look behind it. He'll kind of shrug. Satir will say, "Seek the source. Concentrate. You should be in an empty realm." Moto will then sit on the ground and start to meditate.
Oh.
A few moments will pass, and then he will look up and point. And then he will write out, "I think I see something." Satir will write, "The only way to return is to find the source and try to write it back. We must not be lost in the dream." Moto will nod, and then we'll point to Sera.
Sera will step up.
And he'll start to write out, "Don't worry, on my way back."
Sera will hold out her full hand. She's not going to touch the mirror, but she holds it out, and she's going to give him a sad look. She's quite fond of him. She hopes that he makes it back.
Moto will flip her off and leave.
She smiles lovingly.
Oh, angsty teenager.
Roxanna's gonna put a hand on Sera's shoulder.
All right. Well, this is certainly a problem, Satir will say with a very serious voice. The mirror realm should not be accessible, not easily, not without the dream. What do you think this means, Satir? This means more. More things are happening than we could possibly control, Valis. Don't you see? Even if we get the rebellion back, if the dream is being accessed by those that know not how to access it, we could very well split our entire world into terrible nightmares. The Conflux could be destroyed easily, or we could be jettisoned off the planet and into the astral sea, but without any of the protections. You know what that would do to us. Calm down, Satir. There has to be a way that we can deal with this. The only way we can deal with it is to close the loop. We have to snip this thread, whatever it is. The dream cannot be accessed.
Let's find her then. The vessel that was through the mirror. If she's the source, then find her here. If it's possible. Can we divine that?
I need to have something. I need to have seen her, know her name, a lock of her hair. I need something to go off of. I can't just divine off of a description.
You rummaged through my mind before. Can you see the image of her through Sera's mind?
Oh, that won't work as accurately. Sera could have seen her with bias.
What if we try to access the dream, try to meet her?
No! Do not do that! Satir will then move in. There's a reason you cannot do it. We do not have a natural access to the dream here. If you try to do it, even if you were successful, you could be lost. Or worse, you might turn into something terrible. There are many things that drift within the dreams of the edge of creation and sight. Powerful, terrible things that would leap on any sort of opportunity to enter the waking realm.
What other option do we have? Do we just leave it be and, as you said, jettison off into the astral sea the number of things that could possibly go wrong? Or do we try to risk trying to fix it?
Valis will move in. We are in no position to try to fix anything to do with the dream. We barely have got our feet out from under us. Let us deal with one problem at a time. And then Satir will move in and say, "You are correct, Valis. We should deal with what is in front of us first. Indeed, we do not even have the facilities to deal with the dream or its connection. We would need to go to the Aperture to do that, and I do not believe any of us are ready for that excursion. Right you are, my friend. One piece at a time. Patience, Sera. Your familiar will return."
The silver thread, was that a representation of the ley line or of the dream?
No, the silver thread is the representation of all dreams. Or rather, well, Satir will interject. Valis, I will explain. The silver thread, as it is referred to by the layman, is in fact your soul's living connection between the spirit realm, or dream as it is called, and to the waking realm, which is the realm we exist within. The two are connected through your silver thread. The silver thread is in fact the whole form of dust as you know it. When someone visits the dream, or when they die, or some other interaction between those things, a little bit of the string releases its dust. And when a cord is destroyed, well, a large amount of dust is created. But that is essentially the most purest refinement of your soul's energy, of your life energy, of your connection to the life stream. The dream is the space between the lands that are not and the lands that yet may be. They are ruled by Own and Woad normally. However, Conflux does not have access to the dream, as the dream, powerful as it is, has many dangers and also many regulations. The brother gods do not allow those to traverse it unbidden and without permission. And to travel safely through the astral sea, one needs to jettison themselves into the dream. It is Maltosian technology that has allowed the vessel of the Conflux to move here. But the system was supposed to reconnect us to the dream, and it hasn't yet. Such functions are within the Aperture. And until then, the only hope your familiar has of returning is to find the thread that put him there in the first place.
So he's in the mirror realm, which is connected to the dream, which is then connected to here? Well, is not currently.
If you think of it this way, the waking realm is one room, the dream is another, and the hallway is the silver cord. The mirror realm is the carpet. It is the method of travel. It is a realm in and of itself, and there are creatures great and powerful that live there, but they are supplanted, not quite existing and not quite not existing.
Interesting. The body I saw, is that the representation of myself dreaming?
That I cannot say.
So, two separate things. Moto has to find the source to get back to here. And what I saw, well, that's different. All right.
In either
Well.
case, we need to prepare ourselves. Laurent will return soon.
Well, it's quite an evening. Thank you for coming.
Don't worry, we'll get your familiar back.
Nice of them to not comment on my burning body.
They don't care.
She'll move back. I can't move. Oh, here we go. She'll be back over here.
I feel like I changed during that experience.
She's gonna look lost.
I deepest apologies.
It's not your fault. We were just trying to have a bit of fun.
Alright.
She'll put her sketchbook aside and she will spend whatever time's left trying to commune with Ica.
And Roxanna's going to keep her company, and she's going to just meditate on stuff, thinking about the dream and everything. She misses her connection to it. So she's probably like meditating on that.
All right. Well, is anybody else going to do anything before I move time forward?
I'm gonna pee. I'll be right back.
Can I snort dust?
Yeah, let's answer that question first.
What?
You know, like one of those intrusive thoughts of just...
Are you asking me if you can?
No, it's more so, the question comes up into Roxanna's mind, and then she's probably gonna try to do it.
I'm sorry your dog died. Can I get high in your bedroom?
Okay.
Hey, if all of this ridiculous shit is going to happen, and there's a whole possibility of dying tomorrow, I don't want to die with regrets. And so if I leave this unanswered in my mind, not gonna be bueno at all. So probably just some time meditating, and then thought pops up, she looks down, has the dust she took from the treasury, and then we'll try to snort it.
What is your character motivation for doing that?
People take substances like this, do they not?
How do you know it's a substance? People don't snort sand.
More so
There's some
curiosity.
Currency.
All right.
I mean, it's like...
As you wish. Oh, God. All right. Hold on. All right, and you're next to Sera, and okay, go ahead and track what's in this fucking room real quick. Hold on.
I am back.
Oh.
Oh my.
Oh, welcome back.
I apologize.
Your dog ran away, or at least got
Does
kidnapped.
Sera want to comment on what the fuck that Roxanna's
No,
about
she
to
was
do?
communing with her staff.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure this is... Oh, let's see.
You lost your devil. Can I do drugs? Does drugs?
Is this the same dust as in previous campaigns?
Yes.
Yes.
It's always been the same. Oh, God. Damn it, dude.
It's one of those things that's been nagging at the back of her mind for like a while.
We're gonna be so poor, guys.
I didn't take the entire treasury. Look, if I
Yeah.
write hedonism as a
You
fucking
will.
character flaw, I'm gonna explore hedonism, bro.
A line of dust.
Okay, there it is.
Look, I just want to.
All
I
right.
just want to snort some dead people. What's the worst that can happen? Oh shit!
Well,
I love
Satir is not pleased. He's all equal time.
Trolling.
You for 5 minutes.
And to
You
think,
know when,
I'm
like-
next door. Like,
You know when you like just you're not allowed to have locks on your room anymore? Getting to that point.
Right. Ah, shit.
said you took 20, right?
I need to think for a second. Nope.
Also kind of line of thinking of just we talked about dust and silver threads with the dream and stuff, and our minds on the dream, and like, hey, maybe this will help me commune with the dream, even though we really shouldn't be able to do that. I mean, shouldn't even be fucking with it, but now it's on my mind. I really like the dream.
Communing with Ica.
You don't need to sit there and explain yourself. Decided to do it.
Apologies.
He's doing soul font stuff. Oh my god. What's Albert doing? I think, yeah, might as well know.
Studying.
You're studying Dragon Knights? Maybe a Dragon Embassy?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Evelyn's just next to the sofa with a bottle of wine.
Getting white well wasted.
Jesus Christ.
Dr. Evelyn Grace with that box wine. That Zinfandel.
That grocery store wine, it's like $2.
Race.
What happened to the death pool?
Race, you there?
Bougie.
What's up?
Let's see here. Check your DMs.
Okay, I'm back. I'm strapping in.
Wrapping on.
I was actually kind of liking the idea of the possibility of putting that mirror in front of a doorway to see whether or not that would work. I like that line of thinking.
That was wild. So crazy. Moto.
Moto left you.
My Moto.
He'll come back. He'll be confused and probably come back with like a nice floppy hat.
Oh, he gets his own hat.
I got my own hat. And half a coconut with some liquor in it.
I really thought it was gonna be like you sneeze like magical sparkles for the next 10 minutes. Now we're here.
Energy.
This would be a great prank if he's doing all of this build up for it to be just that.
I'm not. There's a reason why Satir told you not to try and contact the dream right now. I literally just explained why it was a bad idea. Okay. Let's see here. I have to open map tools for this. Give me a
Oh
second.
god, I'm man, Roxanna's gonna get oh shit, I'm jettisoning myself to fuck, oh shit.
Yeah, this is probably going to end the campaign, guys. I'm sorry. But we'll see.
Oh,
Let me finish loading.
I apologize. Oh no. Fuck.
I will wait. I will wait to explode until it's confirmed.
Ah.
Oh, there it is. Sorry, I had to go way back in the nether. Where are you, you little bastard? Let's see, you're on Conflux, so that's... Which fucking ley line is this? Okay, let's see here.
So you're just having a peaceful meditation, attempting to make progress.
Everyone's going out the way she lives.
Has full
Best-
trust that Roxanna's protecting her.
Best case scenario, I'm gonna get fucking fired, bro. Oh no.
Remember that time when Valis threw you out of our safe dome?
I do
don't
remember
think
that.
Valis likes me, bro.
This is much worse.
Okay, there it is. Now I need to load this map.
What map?
Alright. Alright, Ray, so I'm gonna try and get you the best snippet I can. Because I don't know how to convert these. Does that work?
Should give me like 5 minutes.
Okay. Might as well get the other ones ready. And I'll send you some more. Depends on how fucking bad this goes.
My
God,
hands are sweaty.
God damn it.
My knees are weak.
Maybe I can go to bed not that late today. That would be nice.
Whoo, lad! That should be good. That's about as far as they're gonna get. If I need a little bit more, I will. Fuck it. Oh no, your friends. Dead. Okay. Boop boop be doop. Okay. Man, been a long time to load map tools. Okay, let's see here. Okay, well, while you're doing that, I'm going to go through the rolls. See if we even need to get there.
You ever fuck up a tea party with a very important sovereign, find out that you accidentally committed cannibalism, get your crush's familiar stuck in a mirror, try to snort a line, and then get jettisoned into a different dimension? All within like a 2-hour span? Hours?
Just a typical Thursday.
All right.
Happy Thursday, guys.
All right, so. Oh no, I just realized something. That's going to disrupt the status field, isn't it?
Oh.
How would I fucking roll for that? Let's go with.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Sadly, there's no DARE program on Conflux.
I'm so fucking fired.
I'm walking over to my love sack. I'm picking up my teddy bear. I'm clutching it desperately to my chest. That my 9-month character
Really?
doesn't disappear.
That
Hey, you know, have you ever been on a date in the dream, bro? This is wild.
I don't think there's gonna be a second date for you.
Oh, man. Well, I have good news and potentially upsetting news.
Oh, really?
Oh, but there's good news.
The good news is, you don't have to worry about Laurent anymore.
Oh.
Yay. Because we're dead.
Alright. This is not worse. Alright, stasis field, broken. Let's see. Any storms? Any stormers? Nope. Alright, how about now? Okay, good. Did you get it, Race?
I just upscaled it. I'm putting it in like 2 seconds.
Okay. Well, that's good. No storms.
This doesn't kill me. Valis is going to kill me.
Yep.
I'm so fucking dead.
He's a reasonable guy.
What time is it? 1:42? Yeah, we're definitely going over.
Alright,
Oh.
it's in now.
Thank you, sir.
They are going to hold a funeral and curb stomp the shit out of my corpse.
I can fix this.
Alright,
They are going to bring me back just to kill me.
listen up. Albert, Evelyn, and Sabeiro, make me the highest save that you have.
I could. I'll do.
Can I add? No, I mean, I probably can.
Nat 20.
Oh, Nooya, I'm so nervous.
Yeah. I don't think I could change that.
You can.
The sounds of it. Okay.
You can save Albert.
Change
20
mine too.
is my roll. Or
Change
sorry,
mine.
it would be 19. It's a reaction to Albert.
But I.
Alright, those are sufficient.
Squeezing my teddy bear's paws.
So you guys don't get to.
Die.
You guys get to stay here. Allison's tier, however. Please don't fucking fail, dude.
That would be hilarious.
Oh, that really sucks. Fuck, dude. Alright.
Hello. Oh. He's so killing me.
GG.
Alright. God, it couldn't have been fucking Satir at least. Jesus Christ. Alright, get bread boat.
Oh, he is murdering me.
It's fun learning about the world and interacting with it in unique ways.
Hey, the flower bomb wasn't that bad.
Alright, bring a bread boat in here, Race, when you can, and make it play that song on a loop, but don't push play yet.
Okie
Fred Boat.
It was Fred.
What a
Boat.
stupid
It has
name.
been renamed.
What a stupid name.
There it is. All right. Don't push play yet. Race, wait till my signal. Alrighty. Y'all are coming with me. As Roxanna snorts the dust into her body, the dust intermingles with the already corrupted traveler's soul inside, activating the ley line as it is still active from the recent connection to the dream realm and the resonance of the mirror. Unfortunately, all of these things form a perfect storm, which cause the resonance of the dust to be particularly potent. Roxanna is also a user of power words, so the dust ignites every single part of her brain, both mundane and magical, and as such, the latent power words that she has yet to learn, her potential as a seeker, is also ignited. This will cause her, Sera, and unfortunately Valis Dane, to be contorted, twisted, and warped from the waking realm. And the fucking ice cream truck. Are you serious, bro? Sorry.
They get ice cream?
They get warped from the waking realm into the dream. The rest of you hear only a loud krakow as magic courses over you with an unfiltered volley. As you're blown backwards, you will look up to the sky and see that the slightly visible, tangible shielding that you have over this fortress from the flux storms fails. The magic ripped apart from this disruption. And as all of the latent flux energy begins to push in, storms approach at a rapid pace. Your allies are missing, and you have no idea what's happening. We're going to come back to everybody outside here in a second. As for the others, they end up somewhere else. All right, this next roll is very important. Let's see. Oh, thank goodness for small miracles. So at least you land on Owen's side. All right. Give him some vision, please. Mods, do me a favor and put the chat in sub-only mode, or excuse me, emote-only mode. All right. They got vision? Cool, they got vision. All right, transferring them. Let me know when you both are loaded.
I am in. Oh,
Oh, fuck.
I recognize this.
Pretty.
All right, and here we go.
Nostalgic.
Go ahead and press
Oh.
play, Grace.
Oh, great, my dad's here.
You can press play, Grace. All right. You fade through partial reality, and you arrive in the dream. Valis is thrown to the ground with a crushing weight. Sera also is done so, but not nearly to the same extent that Valis is. Roxanna feels the same pounding, but seems to be the least affected. Valis looks around with eyes wide with fear. What have you done?
Santa is entirely speechless as she's just looking around the surroundings.
What have you done? He looks at the both of you.
Sera looks very fearful. She's actually going to reach out and try to hold Alice's hand. She's trying to just grab onto him.
He will accept.
Where are we?
Keep your voices down. Keep them down. Now. He'll move and move his hand up to his head. Keep your voices down. We cannot be found. How is this even possible?
What did you do, Roxanna?
I didn't know this would happen. I was just thinking I couldn't...
What did you do? Explain yourself now!
I was... Sera was communing with her staff, and I wanted to keep her company. I was meditating on the dream. I apologize.
You meditated?
I didn't think.
Then tell me why this is on your nose. They'll hold up your cheek.
Shit.
You didn't.
She's going to wipe her face and look away.
Explain yourself now!
I took some dust. I didn't...
You stupid girl. Do you have any idea what you've done? Do you... He'll look around all of a sudden. In the distance, a scream. A scream like chimes in death. It doesn't matter now. We have to keep moving. Come.
Sera will follow right behind Alice.
Did we roll stealth, or are we just going?
None of that matters.
Noted. Roxanna's head is on a constant swivel.
When you get to about here, Valis will stop. And you will look up. You will see that the sky contorts like irradiated lights. Perhaps you might see at the northernmost tips. They twist and turn in a playful banter that carries with it meaning with every note. 1,000 dreams and 1,000 nightmares, all interwoven into one. On your immediate right, you can see that there is a small pool of what appears to be crystallized water, shifting and twisting like knives sharpening against one another. The trees around you take on a strange psychedelic coloring, shifting in prismatic patterns, the bark shaving, the branches twisted, some immaculately perfect, others like a dead, twisted root. Up ahead, what could be described as a road can be seen jutting as a suggestion through the multicolored greenery.
It's slowly dawning on Sera that she's in the dream. She's going to give one look of unadulterated hate at Roxanna. She's been on the other side of Alice.
All right, we need to think. We need to find a way through this.
How do we leave?
We can't.
We got here.
We're not even supposed to be here. That's the problem. Going to the dream isn't the problem necessarily. It's coming back. And dream Time works differently here. For every moment we spend here, a year could pass below.
Satira mentioned the mirror realm was like carpet. Do we try to find the mirror realm to get out?
I do not know. He's more versed in this. Travel, teleportation, conjuration, these are his fields. I only ever see the dream at the very apex of divination, but never to touch it or to transverse it. Our biggest problem is not just coming back, but coming back as ourselves. We are neither appropriate travelers nor anointed knights. There's a reason that only those that dream and the dead go to this place. Be careful that you do not lose who you are. Piece by piece, you just might. But we must find the way back. Now I know that the ancient texts, they speak of anointed knights. There are gates. There are ways back. Curses, I cannot remember where.
Could Sera do a history check? Would she know some of this from when she was an archivist in Highfall?
Sure.
And Roxanna tried history?
Sure.
Anything?
Well, with your combined knowledge, you know that there is a salient order that serves the dream known as the Silent Knights. And in the past, along with the actions of all the heroes of Camp Last Stand, the Silent Knights, it is rumored, have long since kept their vigil and even bringing new into their order. But the Silent Knights also deal with keeping people out. You could find a place where the veil is thin, but you have no idea where it will take you.
Sera in hushed tones is going to relay that to Valis.
And Roxanna at her piece.
We need to find a sign, a way back, a marker, a guide of some kind.
Modo. Could we find Modo?
Unlikely. It seems that we're in Own's part of the dream. Modo his mind would be found in Wodes, and we shall not travel there. Not if we wish to live.
Sera's going to mimic what she saw Modo do, and she's going to look straight up. Does she see anything?
You see the same things that I've described before.
Okay.
I'm assuming prayer won't help in this instance.
Prayer to who?
Own.
Were you a worshipper of Own?
In my past life, yes. Before Conflux.
Your vessel isn't. I doubt he would even hear your words. Besides, you have to be careful. Thought becomes reality in the dream, but only those with pure and focused wills can do so. If your mind has any doubt at all, your creations will turn against you. Your prayer might just summon his brother. Wait. You said that your familiar followed a thread, yes?
Yes. We watched him. He meditated, and he saw it above. And to follow the source, that was Satira's guidance.
I think that is the best chance that we have. We must find this thread and follow it back to the waking realm. I will use what divinations I can. This will be risky. Open your mind to me, Sera. Let me see what you saw.
She does exactly that, without a hesitation.
Valis drinks in the memory, stands where you stood, looks where you looked. He will take the image in the mind and will begin to conjure it within his own. Irainoi es und anis int irakos enamayanas oreka. He will complete his spell, and as he does so, his mind will flash with a location. His eyes grow white. I have seen where we must go. But there are those that are watching for us. Creatures that live on the edge of the dream. We must be careful.
Yes, I must ask before we set off. If we are to be in combat, if I attempt to summon devils here, I don't feel I should. Is that accurate?
If we fight anything, we'll be killed. Best that we don't. Stay close, stay low, and stay quiet. Man.
Can Sera assist at all? Whatever that was.
No, this is pure chance.
Okay.
I love our.
Can't wait for divine intervention.
Well, well, well. What do we have here?
I'm gonna lose my shit if it's spelled.
Jesus. Alright, let's do this. Alright, as you travel to the dream with Valis, you will see that he is attempting to suppress his power, to hide the magic that he has. His eyes are fearful, his normal, brutal confidence completely shaken. He stares around each and every corner, each tree, each ferrent particle of magic. You can feel, even though technically you're in a place of, quotations, safety, you feel danger around every step. You feel all things. Eventually, you come to a very curious point in the dream, right on the edge, and before you there is naught but a great abyss of potential, of whimsy and imagination, of nightmare and despair. A thin bridge leads you across. You step out onto the bridge, and you arrive here. Valis will look confused. Wait. We've been here before. We've been here. Oh! He'll move forward, holding his hand to his head. You will see that some of his skin starts to turn to dust, silvery in its essence, is absorbed by the dream.
Your hand on his shoulder.
No! No! Do not touch me!
She'll back away.
Hold to yourself! Do not mix! He'll reach into his back and he'll pull forward a silver cord. They are not connected to us. Our bodies are dying without them. We must hurry. No. Hide. Hide. Hide quickly.
Sera goes to a bush. Are we doing stealth checks? Okay.
They won't matter.
Dude, I'm afraid to do vessel sense anything.
Whew, lad. You have to introduce a new enemy, though. That's cool.
A transition session. It's the end of all our campaign.
Okay. All right. Valis will dip behind a translucent shrub. He deigns to cast no magic. And then you see it. Here we go. It's good to be back. You see this creature.
Whoa. That's
Holy
crazy.
shit!
Give me a handout.
Yikes.
Fuck. Those
It's
are
scary.
sexy legs, though.
That's sick.
You like them knees, Cratzzy?
Yeah.
I ain't down bad for that, but hey.
All right. The creature will slowly walk, twisting itself into the stone of the road as it moves forward. All right. Everybody, make me intelligence saving throws. The creature will stop at the edge of the road. will kind of shift violently in short bursts, like its movement isn't fluid, as if there is latency between its movements. And then suddenly it will look at the bush that Sera is hiding behind. One moment, please. All right. Creature will look at the bush, and then it will say,
Sera, help me, help me, help me.
make me an intelligence saving throw. Sera?
That's not my wife.
Sera,
Creature is gone. Slowly,
Sera's a couple of tears go down her face.
slowly Valis will step from the bush. Let us be rid of this place. Come. No time to waste.
She won't touch him, but she's essentially huddling towards Valis, huddling in on herself.
The party's just traveling along. Roxanna's just looking in every sort of direction, her face pensive and seemingly dejected.
Alright, you get to about here.
Whoa. Are they supposed to be four of me?
Do you turn around?
Oh, God.
Staring at the Sera's following.
Would she hear footsteps?
Yep.
She's gonna follow Valis. If Valis isn't looking, she's not gonna look.
Valis does not look. However, since Roxanna looked, the Seras will look at Roxanna.
Roxanna gives it a simple wave.
Sera looks at Valis. She wants to leave Roxanna behind now.
Sera will wave back. Valis moves forward. Roxanna and Sera will start to wave at one another. Roxanna and Sera will start to wave at one another. Roxanna and Sera will start to wave at one another.
That's Roxanna giggling to herself as she just continues
Roxanna
talking.
will giggle to herself. Roxanna will giggle to herself. Roxanna will giggle to herself.
A strange dream.
Strange, dream, strange, dream. All right, Roxanna, make me a wisdom saving throw. Oakley dokley. Go join him. Okay.
Hello.
This Sera will look at this Roxanna. This Sera will look at her with a look of absolute hatred. Sera will pull out a knife and start to stab Roxanna in the eyes and throat. This Sera will look at this Roxanna and start to stab this Roxanna in the eyes and throat. This Sera will look at this Roxanna and start to stab this Roxanna in the eyes and throat. This Sera will look at this Roxanna and will pull out its knife.
Can I do anything in reaction?
Yeah. What do you want to do?
Oh.
Well, what would you want to do?
She was watching Sera and not wanting that to happen. She just meets the same glare for a moment and utters "Ko."
Oh, shit.
I said it before, I didn't know if it picked up.
It did. You used a power word in the dream. I'm gonna mute.
All right. God damn it. Okay, alright, let's see. Well, it stops, as does Sera, the real one, will suddenly stop and cannot move forward. Valis will not turn around and will keep moving forward. Alright, here we go.
Am I just waiting, Arcadum?
Yeah.
I'm on.
Yeah,
I'm
I got
in
it.
for the ride. Okay.
Yeah. I'm figuring this out.
Okay. I'm gonna get some water.
Okay.
I'm still here. Just wireless headset.
I gotta do this pure 50-50. All right, one moment, please. Oh, God. Okay, let me Do this. This is happening now. Okay. I got a new song for you. Race, could you please play this for me? Put that on a loop. Okay. As Roxanna utters "ko," her power word takes actual shape into the dream realm. Power of the Taladonic speech echoes through the dream and creates quite the show. All of the malignant reflections seem to cease. And as they cease, they dissipate into nothing. The false Sera dissipates into nothing. What happened to Breadboat?
It wasn't working. I couldn't hear any of the music.
I could hear it.
Oh, you could? Okay.
Yeah. I was able to hear it too. This man just slammed my fucking drama, bro.
Yeah, man.
It was bad, bro.
It was beautiful too.
Now I'll wait for it to come back.
I felt like I was getting my free plug.
All right, mods, you can take it off emote only mode. Because now it doesn't matter anymore. All right. Roxanna. Your power word echoes through the area. Or through the dream, I should say. And unfortunately, it has gained the attention of those who guard such things. All right. Lolly and Jace, What's about to happen is going to be a very serious social encounter, of which you will affect not only your own fates, but perhaps the fates of others. Please be exceedingly careful with how you go forward from here.
Val's gone, correct? It's just us.
He kept walking, yes.
And Sera can't take off. It's too late.
Correct. Ko has stopped her, hasn't stopped her malignant reflections.
Okay.
Alright, here we go. Suddenly, pure shadow conjures all around you. A dark presence multiplies before you several times. Until finally, a massive presence forms itself in completion. And it looks down upon you with a pitiless gaze. Let me know if you can't understand this. Okay. You see this. Handout for those that need it.
That was on character.
Oh man. Oh man. Our first god encounter.
Yay!
It looks dope.
It looks so
Looks down upon you with eyes bereft of pity and a sneer of contempt.
And who has dared to intrude upon our domain?
Did you understand that?
Yes.
All right.
Sera doesn't look at Roxanna at all. She looks at Bode very respectfully. I am Sera.
I am Amelia.
And why is a vagabond and a demon witch in the dream unescorted?
We are from a broken continent. We should not be here. Are you familiar with Conflux?
I have heard of the false land, yes. Shielded from my brother and I, hiding. Cowardice. You are from such a place.
We are trapped there. I am originally from, my soul is from Calcatesh, and it was snatched, I believe, from this realm on my death, and now I am in this trapped world, this trapped
I
land.
care not for your excuses. Why are you in my domain?
It was my attempts to connect Conflux to the dream, as I had originally wanted to come here.
Your mind is full of falsities. Do you lie to the god of nightmares?
I believe
I do not.
I believe when I asked you what your in-character motivations were, is that you were curious.
Yeah.
None of that other
Yeah.
shit. Do not lie to him again. I'll let that one go because you didn't know about it. That's why I specifically asked you what your character motivations were. So answer it again.
It was a curious experiment.
An experiment. I thought I had smelled the faithfulness to my brother on you. Still, you break the old laws to be here. But I sense another. One that is better at hiding himself than you.
Sera nods.
What is your companion's name?
Sera gives him up. Valistane. The three of us are here together.
A clap of shadow.
No! Impossible! Quite possible, I'm afraid, atheist. Your unfaith is useless here. Why are you in my domain? We are here because of this idiot girl and her need to put her hands on everything. I cannot believe...
His mouth is sealed with shadows.
Idiot she may be, but you will speak to a follower of my brother with respect. Now, punishment, experiments or not, is irrelevant. You are where you should not be. But what to do with you? What to do with you indeed? Perhaps I will take you in souls, rip them from the corpses you left behind. I shall take you to the wall of aberrations, see how you fare as a tentacle. Or perhaps the mirrors of despair. You may watch the sadness of others. Yes. You shall have wisdom put in your mind. Perhaps it will prevent further attempts to break the old laws. We shall start with you.
He will lift Valistane.
Release me, demon! Tell me something, atheist. Tell me, do you feel that I am not worthy of worship? Do you feel that I am not master of this domain? Do you feel that I am not worthy of worship?
No one should rule another. All should have their freedom to do as they wish, whether it be a king, an archon, or a god.
You are convicted. That will serve you well when I take your mind from you. Now, what to do with you? Respect is given to the followers of my brother, girl, but you should not be here. And you have disrespected him with your errant curiosity. Either that, or you did not pay attention to his teachings to know how dangerous going to the dream unbidden is. So which is it? A lack of understanding? Or a disregard for yourself?
He is going to face him and speak clearly. It was a disregard to myself.
Why?
I do not know certain.
Your mind is as confident as your body is awake. Oh. Perhaps a drowning then. Or 3. Yes. A drowning or 3.
The shadows wrap around Roxanna. She is brought before the Lord of Nightmares.
Ah, there are scars on your mind. You have felt the torture, haven't you? And perhaps the drowning will not be good enough. Perhaps heartbreak. Yes. Yes. We shall find your memories. We shall pick the worst amongst them, and you will relive them until I am satisfied that you have learned your lesson.
The Lord of Nightmares is given pause. His eyes will narrow slightly. He will then turn towards Sera and grasp her with a shadowy hand and bring her up next to Roxanna as if to compare them. He will look back and forth between them.
These memories are not yours. You are something else, aren't you?
And he will grasp your bodies in the dream, and he will shake the visage of your vessels off like a Polaroid picture until only your traveler souls remain.
I see. It would seem the lost children found their way back after all. But they did not find their way home. I empathize with your fate. A great suffering has been placed upon you. One that you did not earn. One that was taken from you.
And with that, Wold will grip both of your traveler's souls and will look back to your convergences, revealing that they both have a single thing in common. At your end, each of you, there was a flash of violet light.
As I suspected, you were those that were stolen, and those that were returned. It would seem that your final rest was taken from you, shifted into this vessel that denies the dream. I am sorry that you were taken by the enemy, but know that it has been defeated. I shall return you to where you belong, to your rightful place.
All right, kiddos.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Listen up. Woad has revealed that both of you and all traveler souls in Conflux were once destroyed by the Violet, and in the final moments, when the heroes of Verum beseeched the Violet to release those that it had taken from this world, it had done so, and each and every single one of them were returned to the life stream. However, as with Violet Death, their bodies and the memories of themselves were gone. Most returned to the life stream to be recycled once more. But some were caught by the empty space, by the blot in the dream, by the conflux. You have a choice, if you wish for it to be. Woad has the strength to take you to your rightful place, where your soul was supposed to be. Or you can beseech the Lord of Nightmares to return you to the vessels that you were lost from.
Oh! Jace, you go first.
Lord Woad, I must beseech you. There are others like ourselves, travelers trapped in the conflux that has suffered the same fate as us. If you would allow us, or at least my companion, to return to that conflux, I would be forever in your debt.
Why? Why do you wish to return to a rotted corpse that is not your own?
Because that place is filled with great suffering. And I want to be able to change that.
Make me a persuasion check, kiddo.
Suffering is the burden all must bear. There is wisdom in that pain, and I sense that you have a lot of selfish desires that would get in the way of this supposed nobility that you claim to possess. I can see you, child, for that is what you are. A child. And a child's promise holds little sway for me.
Sera, would you like to say anything?
Woad, would you allow me a few questions?
A scholar, I see. Fine. I am Lord of Wisdom. Speak.
I died with my wife. If you are to return me, will it be where she is?
I am afraid she has joined the life stream. You shall never see her again, as you once did.
Oh. A couple of tears will go down Sera's face as the final piece is in that she's never going to see her wife again.
But you could see your children, if you wish.
How so?
He takes a moment to answer and says,
I will allow you to haunt them.
Sera doesn't like the idea of. She wants her family to live well and not be haunted by her absence.
He senses your trepidation and will say,
As you wish.
Woad, I was not a believer. We were married by a presbyteric because it was my wife's wish, but here, I would like to connect the dream to Conflux. I don't know how to do that, but I would like to take that cause on.
A penchant for nobility, it would seem. But I wonder if your devil's mark will allow such a thing. For the dream is denied to most of the Conflux, but the abyss has found its way there, as it tends to find in most dark places. But the demons do not live in the waking realm, and they technically have followed the rules. The problem, you see, is that you wield the magic of those that would keep the dream away. And I see within you, child, ambition's flame. Would you really turn away from the path of power to serve the dream?
She'll give him not a daring look, but a courageous look. What can you tell about this devil's mark, this body that I was placed into? It seems to come with it. I believe there is a devil that this vessel has allegiance to. Can you see that?
The corpse is beyond my sight. I can only see you and the impressions it may have left. I see your longing for your lost companion. I see your sorrow. I see your lust for power and knowledge. And I see ambition's flame.
She'll nod to all of that. She will not deny. The ambition I hold. Am I stuck with this devilry? Am I able to atone?
And why would you atone? Do not be ashamed. You misunderstand. Your ambition is nothing to be shirked. I simply question your ability to act nobly while it burns in your breast.
I think I need further wisdom to understand why the devils would want the dream to not be there. Would you push them out?
It is far more likely they simply wish to bargain for it. No one pushes me out.
Insight check.
Can I make it as well or no?
Yeah. His brother might. His brother might push him out. That was a play on that. No one can take me. His brother might.
I didn't fully understand that one. So the devils will bargain with what?
So it is Woe's opinion that they probably won't care how the dream gets back. They just want to make sure that they can bargain for people to get into it. The devils will just take advantage of it. But he doesn't suspect that they'll stop it. Because if the dream is connected, more devils can come through more easily. So it's not really it's a win-win for them, really.
Okay, I think I'm lost then. So then why?
He doesn't believe that you will give up the path of power for the Taladonic staff and basically everything else that you've been doing in order to serve the dream, because the Taladoni are the ones that sealed it from the dream.
Oh, thank you.
That is why he is skeptical of your supposed alliance towards the dream.
Okay, because she is Taladoni and has been influenced by Taladoni in the pursuit of unlocking all of that so far.
And
Okay,
your
I'm with
naked
you.
ambition would mean that he doesn't suspect you would give up power as well. Eyebrow wriggle. Make me a persuasion check there, Sera.
What power would she have to give up? I'm rolling.
Yeah. Does Sera have eyebrows right now?
Yes.
Did you have eyebrows in the past? Oh my god, you have eyebrows!
Okay.
She looks very normal.
Okay. Let me explain, I suppose. The Taladoni are the reasons that the dream is not allowed in the Conflux, because the dream would be antithesis to a lot of their technology and powers. Your commitment to using the Taladonic powers, such as your staff, and becoming a mage, and basically following the path of the Taladoni, even as the Ragdarians, because the Ragdarians treat the dream the same. They just believe they should be in charge. That's all. This is still the same regime.
Okay.
He doesn't believe that you would be willing to give up all that you have earned on your path of the Taladoni so far to serve the dream because of your naked ambition.
Okay.
Or I should say, he is skeptical that you would make your character less powerful to do good.
Got it.
Just
Okay.
pure good. You see what I mean?
And the general politics here is who's in charge of where all the power comes from.
Yeah, for the most part. To Woad, he
In
doesn't.
very simplistic terms.
Woad doesn't care about Ragdar or Taladoni. He knows that both of them don't want the dream involved, and that's a fucking problem. He doesn't care what color banner they wear. They're all, heretics and need to be punched in the face with a dream daddy.
Arcadum?
Yeah.
Could I make like religion or history? I want to convince this guy to my thought process. I want to convince this guy to let us back, and if he lets us back, we'll do all in our power to bring the dream to Conflux so the connection is made. And I don't know. I'm trying to see what can I do to give power to my word, making mention of being a follower of Own, or maybe
I can help
bring
you.
another god into it.
I can help you out a little bit. So, first of all, you're a follower of Own, which means you have some semblance of a voice here. You are one of his brother's followers, and they respect each other. However, he also is not his brother. He is not the god of whimsy and imagination and let's figure this out. He is the god of nightmares. So he's a far more practical and pragmatic character. He doesn't believe you because he can look into you. And I judge your personality based off of what I, the DM, know about everything your character has done. And there is no point at which I would consider Roxanna consistent in her beliefs or goals. At all. It's been a major character flaw. So, if you want to try and convince him that you would fully commit to this, then you're going to have to convince him you're going to have to convince him, you have to convince me, basically. That's the thing. You're going to have to use your words. There's no honey here. There's no weak point. I mean, there are, but I won't reveal them to you because that's part of the challenge.
You mentioned that we're in Own's part of the dream.
Yes.
Can I not ask for him here instead of Woad? I summoned Woad because I said I did power signs of power word specifically here, and that called his attention. Can I not ask to speak with my own god?
Are you? If you're asking me if you are capable of doing that, you certainly can try. Yes.
It's more so, can I insight to see if that's even a smart play?
Give me a religion check, and I will give you the best answer to that I can.
Funny.
That would be incredibly risky. It would be down to how you word it. Because although he and his brother he and his brother rule the dream together. but demanding or asking to see own, depending on how you word it, can most certainly be taken the wrong way. None of my gods or goddesses are perfect beings. They have personalities. If you're trying to ask me if that would be a smart idea, if you could get own here, that would certainly be a point in your direction. The trick is getting him here. Anyway, I will give you guys a moment to think about the next things that you want to say. If enough time passes, then Woe will continue.
I'll think out loud a little bit. So it sounds like for Sera, she's got a choice between stay on the Taladoni way. She can't have both. She's got to pick one or the other, or become a champion for the dream.
Or you have to convince Woe that you will. And
yeah, I've got a potential.
I wouldn't suggest lie to him, but
no.
You know.
What was I thinking? Shoot. Oh yeah, that she can't have one or the other. Okay.
What I'm thinking.
Go ahead.
Apologies. What I'm thinking is that the only way to give power to my words is that I would say I need to be as I want manners, and so I'm thinking if you would allow me, I would go so far as to swear an oath to own himself to bring the dream to Conflux. Does that sound... Am I being ridiculous?
Arcadum, are we using meta-knowledge?
Okay, I'm sorry. Are you saying that to me, or are you practicing?
I'm practicing and thinking.
Okay. Please make it clear if you're talking.
As a lolly person?
You are your traveler soul, so yes, you can.
Do not swear an oath here.
Do not swear an oath? Can I, religion check again?
You need to beseech him. You don't want to do a prayer right in front of him, because that's going to be super omega rude. But I think you can play on, you're a follower of his brother. You came here out of curiosity, and it's such an honor to be in front of him. Perhaps you could see Own as well, so that you could try to then make a promise to both of them to try and bring. You have to balance being very polite to Woad, because he's the one who's here, even though we're in Own's realm. But you need to start to build up a case, and hopefully Own will hear you. Even just saying his name, which is why when Sera got here, she didn't say anybody's name. As soon as we got here, even saying their name has a lot of power to it. So the more often you can weave that into it, if you've noticed, Woad only refers to Own as his brother. So the more that you can build up that case to have him notice you in his realm, that's just my take on it, though. I could always be wrong.
So what you're saying? Oh my god. How do I? Oh man, I'm trying to think how
do we have, Arcadum?
What?
Okay.
How much time do we have to plot?
I'll give you a couple more minutes.
You could try and write it out, Jace, but I don't think you can do it in a couple of minutes.
I'm a fast typer, bro. I will fucking make myself a script right now. Fuck. Okay, so, what to say?
You
interweave,
also,
Own. Okay, yeah.
You can also start to plan this while Sera keeps the conversation going, because she wants to ask him about the Galactic Empire that is the Taladoni. Because if they can't get to Conflux, they can't get to anywhere with the Taladoni. So she wants to understand that. If he's local here to Verum, does he have desires to get outside? So that's where she's going.
Ooh. I'm thinking maybe make mention again. Okay, so putting seeds of Own's name in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
As a saying something as
What's
a follower
his
of Own.
Symbol?
This Own or Woad? Because Own is the silver mirror.
You've got a mirror in your token.
I do.
Is that not right, Arcadum?
Do you have one on your sheet?
Mirror, yeah. Yeah, it's my hand mirror. It's on my character sheet.
Okay, do your thing.
Wait, what is that? Why was this brought into... Wait, you lost me on your point, though.
It's his symbol, so the more things you have that's going to reference own, the stronger your call is going to be to him so that he might answer and come here. You don't want to ask Woad to summon his brother. You can, I think that's like plan D. You don't want to offend Woad. That's the ultimate goal here, is to not offend Woad.
Do I have access to my, items still? Because he kind of shaked us like a Polaroid.
You're in the dream, you're in... What did I say about the dream?
Think it.
Oh, think it!
So you could probably weave that into your speeches as you're talking about being a follower of own. You can then picture with your mind this holy symbol, and it'll appear perhaps floating around you. I don't know if we have hands in here.
Okay, I think I'm safe to continue. You good, Lolly?
Yep.
Yeah! Woo!
I'm ready to go back under Arcadum.
Alright, let's do it. Your move.
Okay.
Woad, the Conflux is a land you cannot reach, and it's due to the Taladoni. The Taladoni, from what I understand, they have a vast empire. So if we are trying to bring the dream to Conflux, it is more than just one area we're trying to topple. Is that a fair assumption?
The Taladoni. Oh, no. The Taladoni are not nearly as vast and all expansive as you might believe. The folly of Maltos cost them much, and even now they are but vestiges, a half-dead corpse barely clinging to power. Ever since the Raxus Federation found their way off Seric's storm, the Taladoni have been on the back foot.
What was...
Maltos.
What did he...
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I'm just pogging out of my own self. Sorry.
You think I'm not freaking out? You mentioned Maltos, the third who was here, Valis. I believe he's from Maltos. Sera knows that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Well, that's a decent thing to suspect.
When you say the folly of Maltos, their people must still exist, as that is the very political alliance we are currently in.
There is much of history that you have yet to learn, young one. The folly of Maltos was their attempt to face the enemy, and their near and absolute destruction.
What was the folly of Maltos?
There are some things that are best left forgotten.
Give me a sec, take a note.
Roxanna, while this conversation is going on, will instinctively think about reaching for the silver mirror she always keeps on her person, and, going to grab to where it would have been on her person. So, hold it like a, not safety blanket, but, just hold on to it. And I'm assuming doing so would sort of materialize because I'm thinking about getting it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did something happen, or I'm going to keep asking questions?
No, she just summoned her mirror.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the folly of Maltos is not to be spoken of then. The Taladon himself, it all seems lost, and it feels like we're on this weird continent cut off from everything we've known for politics that are dated from a very long time ago.
While I would enjoy a political musing and a discussion of governments, I grow that my patience is becoming thin. Question is simple. Do you wish to return to where you belong, or to the corporate shells that you were found in?
Thank you for allowing me more questions.
What I see, if
What did you just say?
I
Hold on,
could choose
sorry.
this-
You dropped. Say again.
Okay. So he had asked, does he return us to our respective places and whatever? So Roxanna is asking, would I see Own, or would I return to the part of the dream that was in Glaeus?
Presuming that you were a fastidious follower and followed his rules, you'll probably end up a butterfly somewhere in someone's dream. My brother is whimsical.
Would I be able to know my fate? Would I be able to see Own here?
Persuasion check.
Come on!
Lords, gods below! Ah!
Okay.
Why couldn't I fuck around on my birthday, bro?
You wish to know your fate, and your fate was denied you. I suppose that was fair. Very well. So be it.
All right. Wold will clap
Folly.
his hands together in a strange rhythmic pattern.
Molly, hold me.
A strange cloud of letters will appear above Woad that says, "Hold on."
Are you serious?
Woad will cross his arms and wait patiently for his brother to fucking get here already.
Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop.
Another cloud of letters will appear. Almost done.
Oh, it's a communication.
Roxanna's,
Sera's not laughing. Sorry, I was just.
Roxanna is completely overwhelmed with, like,
Oh.
a joy. Like, she loves the whimsical stuff. She's, entertained. She's smiling. This is the first time she's smiled since coming to the dream, bro.
Woad doesn't like it at all. But, you know. He has to.
She's
Sera's
clutching
still
his
having
mirror
a
with
full-on
excitement.
sorrow of learning she'll never be with her wife. It's been a long time before Sera smiles again.
All right, more words will appear above Woad. LOL, almost there.
Dude, Roxanna's like in Disneyland. She's like clutching like her little Mickey Mouse souvenir that is the silver mirror, and she's like, "We're about to meet Mickey Mouse."
And a haircut. Dun dun. Where is he? There he is. Come here. Come here, you. Let me talk to you.
Wait, I smiled at Sera earlier.
Baby girl, what's your
Genuine
name?
smile.
Talk to you. Buy you a drink.
Sera's not looking
My
at
name's
Roxanna.
T-Pain. You know me.
He's looking at Wode's feet, if he's got feet.
He does not have feet. He just has a swirly under cape dark trench coat thing going on.
Sera looks at his genie bottom.
Take that foot
He
fetishist.
blushes.
Stop!
Do not,
Sera's gaze slowly travels up. I'm joking.
do not make me comfortable around the god of nightmares.
Are you undressing the god of nightmares with your eyes?
Oh my god.
Gods, how do I proceed for asking?
Real quick, I do have to go because they put a mobile order and I have to go pick it up. So
Go ahead, buddy.
Bye, Nooya.
see you guys. This was really fun.
Sorry.
Bye.
Bye.
Didn't realize we were gonna do that.
Go to the dream. Talk to gods.
Go
My
into
God!
the dream realm.
Jace, you looked at. Hey, you know what? Talking to a sovereign? No, I got better people to talk to. I'm gonna go talk to the gods.
Oh, dude. I'm enjoying this way more. Dude, I get to see my god.
I am
apologize.
sweating.
I apologize. Hey, Sera.
Okay, hey.
I apologize. You stabbed me a couple times.
All right, and then you hear. Let's see. I gotta make his voice now. All right, then you guys hear. Hello, brother.
Hello, brother.
So adorable.
Did you need to talk to me about something? Or did you just want a hug?
This is your follower. She is one of the returned.
Where? I don't see them.
She's
Lord,
right here in front of you.
Is she over there?
Huh?
Or over here? Oh, I see you. Hello.
Hello, Lordon.
How you doing?
I'm doing
Are you
amazing
having
right
a
now.
good time?
Very much
Have
so.
you had any of my brother's cookies? He's a very good chef.
I've not had his cookies.
Sera will risk a look at.
She will slowly look over. Woad is not happy. But then again, he wasn't happy before, so.
Dude,
You
the
know.
the feathers on Roxanna's arms as her arms are comprised of like it's similar to a siren or whatever, just standing up, very excited. She is smiling,
Don't forget
beaming.
to do the handout race so everyone can see me. Thank
That's a
you.
race.
Oh, he looks awesome.
Jesus Christ. So adorable. He's like Crush from Finding Nemo.
All right. I need to understand why you're here. You're not supposed to be here. You're not dreaming or dead. Did you kill them, Woad?
No.
That's good. You must be having a good day. Wait a minute. Did you send anyone to the despair pit?
Yes.
Gnarly. He'll look down.
Crush.
Can I help you? What's your name?
My name is Amelia. Amelia and Ravencall.
Wow. Okay. Bye-bye.
Wait, Lord Owen, may I ask?
Oh, yes.
I know that I was fated to go to the dream, but I want to ask
How?
if I may.
How do you know
Well,
that?
I suppose I do not know that. I had
Then why would you say
believed
that
I
you
would.
did if you didn't?
My apologies.
Why are you saying sorry? You haven't done anything wrong.
Get on with it, please.
Sera
Oh.
steps back and over here.
If I
Actually,
may,
she's in his hands. Just
I want to return to Conflux and bring the dream to Conflux.
Why?
Because I want to... I love the dream, and as much as it would joy me to remain here, I want to help those there. There's other travelers like me.
What?
I want to bring the dream to Conflux.
Why?
And because there's others who want to connect to the dream there.
Well,
and I
they
want
just
to help
go to
them.
sleep, silly, or die.
They can't dream, though, on Conflux. They can't connect here when they go to bed.
What?
I have been trying to dream ever since I got there. But when I was there, I was unable to dream.
He will move you up directly in front of his face.
Explain.
Shoot, how do I explain this? Okay. Conflux is a vessel on Verum that is disconnected from the dream. They've done this purposefully because... Oh shit, what was the reasoning Valis gave? Because it would bring more chaos there.
Chaos? The dream is chaos. My dream is chaos. My brother's is law. No one denies the dream to those that dream. Sleep must be restful, and death must be meaningful. Unacceptable. Glad to see that you're on board, brother.
Indeed. We should rectify this. Have you ever rubbed your back against the trees, brother? It feels so nice.
Sera steals another glance at Woad.
This is my god. I love him. He's awesome. I fucking love him.
Woad, we should help them. But they have broken the law. They are not to enter unbidden.
Don't you see an addict when you see one? This one has no control over her inhibitions. She put herself and all those that she loves at risk. She's quite selfish.
And she should be rewarded.
Oh no! She should be sent back for the punishment that awaits her. No doubt her companion's trust in her will be forever broken, and slowly she will have to deal with the ever-approaching feeling of their distrust, her absolute failure to put others before herself, and as such, she will be punished.
That works for me.
All right, you guys go back.
Newman?
Oh my god.
All right, well, that'll conclude this session. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, I'll get
Holy
back to I'll give you guys a big section at the beginning of the next one. Albert and Sabeiro and Evelyn.
EP.
And Satir.
Yeah, maybe.
I was next door.
Are we going to be forever marked by this?
Oh yeah.
Rest in peace, fellas.
Also, I finally figured out how to do the simultaneous zoom in while talking. I'm going to be using
That was
that a
very
lot
nice. Very nice.
Even more power!
Learning on the go.
It's been a while since I've played a god or two.
That was awesome.
I think people.
You
I think
got the
people.
BOGO.
I think people really haven't seen Own that much. People are always like freaked out by how Own is so weird.
I love him,
Crush from
bro.
Finding Nemo. He's like, dude.
He's such a great foil to Woad, dude. It's so awesome. Lol, I'm on my way.
My Uber stopped to get some food. My cosmic dream Uber.
Man. But they're not allowed to dream. What? You hit him with the serious.
Zooms in.
The serious what?
Enhance.
Whatever do you mean?
She'll face her own punishment. Oh, I'm sorry. She's so funny. Oh, man.
You pulled him straight out of the 100-acre wood.
All right. Let's see. We got some fan art.
That was a ride.
I snorted dust.
Shouldn't have done that.
We will talk about that off stream.
Yeah.
Da-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm hating it. Where is the fan art? I'm a fan of this art. Ooh, lots of fan art. Yeah, here it is.
41.
All right, let me just get... Okay. This first bit is Moto trapped in the mirror realm.
John Travolta from Pulp Fiction.
Oh.
I miss him.
What happened, Moto?
Me sitting
I'm
in
very much like that parent where my kid can do no wrong when it comes to Moto.
There's me sitting here watching another character get a crippling dust addiction. Oh yeah, we haven't even rolled for addiction yet. Oh Jesus.
Wait, I'm going back with it. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I felt everything when I did that, bro. Oh, that was fucking awesome.
Yo, I heard the Dream Realm needed some ice cream. Oh, here's Cratzzy's new talkie we have to upload so that he can be handsome.
More hands.
I'm waiting.
Oh,
I'm waiting.
Oh,
Yes. Look at those man pecs.
I need to fucking refresh Empire.
Me after seeing Roxanna take the wokey cokey. You dumb fucking cretin, you asshole. Cool bug fact. The nightmare Woad sees within fucking Roxanna. Salt.
Just salt.
Phallus when he gets sealed away again. Is
What
that
was the specific
Roxanna?
wording for his punishment?
It's me.
For whose punishment? Which one?
Valestains.
Oh. Well, Valesdane, let's see here. I believe, he had to go to the pits of despair and be in the mirror realms of watching other people's sadness. Yeah, and then live within his own memories of his worst failures, repeated over and over again.
Wowee.
Outstanding move. Own energy. Yeah. Own arrives.
I did get those vibes.
Kermit the God. Okay. Oh, here we go. We got some fan art. What the fuck? Trapped, bro.
I'm waiting for it to load. Oh! Little Moto.
Oh shit, Casey really drew fucking Owen, bro.
Owen looks badass in that. That's such a short amount of time, dude.
That's crazy.
Oh, that looks amazing.
That's really good.
The cosmic
love
beta
that.
fish says go back.
Beta fish.
He looks like a beta fish.
The cosmic beta fish says stop.
That looks awesome, Casey.
That looks
Very cool.
amazing.
Looks like an axolotl.
God, I love role playing Owen, dude.
He's high. He
That's
has
so
to be
funny.
high.
Oh shit, we got more fan art.
Dude, he looks like an Oni.
I got that vibe from the art as well.
Oh, what? Are those our souls?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Those are your soals.
When I tried to have her move and then remembered that she was just chilling in his hand. Just being caressed. Looks at his genie bottom.
Can't believe you would just do that. Alright, here we go. Moto looking at Roxanna eating all that dust.
Waiting.
Doing drugs.
My God's name. All right, let's go back and take a look at these submarinos. Let's see. Go Master Dog takes the 7 months. Undead takes the 10 gifted subs and the various sniperinos. And then the 7 gifted subs.
777 donated.
That's a lot of subs.
A perfect number.
Workin' Joe, thanks for the 5 gifted subs. King Lionheart, thanks for the prime. And remember, guys, it's September, so all subs have a big discount. And we are at halfway, a little over halfway, to 4K subs, which will get us the Svelte game.
The way Nick Nooya put in something in the fan art for Woe.
Oh, he did? Sick. Oh, he made a token for him. Very cool.
Very pog.
Yeah, very cool.
Oh, looks so cool.
That's a technical foul.
And that's a technical foul. I haven't heard that song for you.
I love that song so much.
When you went my morning erection, you'll get an automatic injection. But I'd like to see it anyway. Anyway. Alright, guys, thank you so much for all the subs, all the support, all the love, all that good stuff.
Ooh.
As a reminder, if you have a sub gifted to you or otherwise, you can join the Living World Discord, which on the 20th, in 5 days, we will start up the brand new section of testing of all the automation so we can get set up for the Living World. So, thank you guys.
Christ, we just blew up the fort we just got. Oh my god.
I know, right? Well, the most damage was to the stasis field and the loss of the leader of Ragdar's rebellion. But that's entirely. Anyway, good stuff, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being in the stream today, guys. Also, as a quick aside, I'm going to try and do a lot more non-D&D streams just to kind of fill up time because I want to stream more. I don't know what I'm going to stream, but if you are there and support the stream, that would be great. I will try to make it as entertaining as absolutely possible. So, thank you for that.
LARPing.
Yes.
Just LARP.
I will just start LARPing. I will go outside and speak to random people.
Speak to all the people who go by your the airport you live in.
Yeah, I know, right? Could you guys stop?
These
flying?
dragons keep flying overhead.
That's an airplane.
So many fucking dragons, bro.
So many dungeons that they don't even go in.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for all your support. See you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye!